is unequal.
Well, let's do it. Yeah, let's do it. Or whatever. And make it a little more raspy, and I follow directions.
Their contents are legendary.
In fact, that little sheet you see is his concept drawing.
Their attitude is embraced. Tune in to one of the most up and rising kaiju-sized groups within our community. So go ahead and watch all of their creative content, including that of the Raw Attitude live interview, where they have special guests ranging from actors, directors, toy creators, artists, and many, many more. You can also find them on multiple of other social media platforms, ranging from Instagram, TikTok, X, Facebook. You could even sit back and watch your favorite classic monster movie and even watch us go through one of the most iconic games on Twitch. Featuring your hosts, Eric Stowe, Adrian Settle, Joe Myers, Samson West, Jordan Adorno. They are the Monsters with Attitude.
What is going on to all of our beloved dwellers on Monster Island, embracing nothing but attitude? Here is your host for today's show. Y'all already know it's your boy, Jordan, the Don Adorno. And if you did not know, this is hands down probably one of the best non-Godzilla Toho kaiju movies of all time. That's it. That's the end of the show, you guys. Thank you for hopping on, etc., yada, yada, yada. All right, enough of that. What's with all the faces?
You'll find out.
Yeah. You're wrong, boy.
You guys are some well, excluding the negative aura I'm feeling right now from these three sons of bitches, I would like to properly introduce them, each and every single one of them, to those that are watching, starting off with none other than probably one of the most bearded individuals I've ever came across in my entire life, and that is none other than the bearded kaiju himself, Mr. Eric Stowe. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. Yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun. I want to hear the different sides of this kind of film, because I know this film gets love, but also gets hate. And people don't like it. So it's kind of like I'm interested to see and hear people's opinions. So that's what we do here. We welcome all opinions. So it's gonna be a lot of fun.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree more. I feel like that's what makes the show a lot more fun, just seeing everybody's different opinions. And to some, maybe it'd be enough to probably convince one. I'll tell you, for me, nobody's ever going to convince me if this was a bad movie, because I absolutely love it. Nonetheless, right below me, right here, right below me, is my brother from another mother. The man who basically runs a train, as Joe would say, on all of these crazy. Adrian Settle. Joseph, relax, Joseph. Wusa. Adrian, how are you doing, my friend?
I'm doing well. Last night was the second time I've watched this movie, and after rewatching it, I have some thoughts. As I mentioned earlier, I have thoughts now.
Well,
interesting.
I hope for some positive thoughts. How about that? All right. How about that?
We'll see.
Huh? Okay.
We'll see.
And then right next to him, Joseph Myers. I'm just kidding. This man is probably the most committed husband, being married to all of the kaiju across the entire universe. And that is none other than our beloved Joseph. I like to call him Joseph. I just feel like this is more professional for him. Joseph Myers. How are you doing, Joe?
Fantastic. Though I have to be honest, I wish we were talking about Godzilla 98.
I mean, we had an option 2 years
Right away.
ago.
Yeah.
Wow.
No, I'm good. I'm good. I'm excited to talk about this movie. I have to admit, not a fan, but I don't absolutely despise it. There is some gems in there, and can't wait to talk about them.
All right, all right. Oh man, this is going to be a crazy show. Wow. But before we go further into the show, of course, we have to acknowledge everybody that is tuning in right now. Starting off with our boy Michael Sontag. How you doing, brother?
What's going on?
Michael.
Alongside
Hello,
Michael, we have Charles himself.
Charles. What's going on?
Charles.
Of course, one of our loyal viewers here on YouTube, fanciest of cats. What is going on, my friend?
Hey, I feel you, man. I'm in that same boat right now. It is ungodly hot. We have a heat index going on. It is muggy. I mean, I feel you. So yeah, it's disgusting.
How hot it is for you right now, Eric?
It's normal 95 degrees, but with the heat index, it's over 100. But it's not just like hot; it's really hot. It's that nastiness that just sucks the life out of you.
How about you, Joe?
Yeah.
Same. I think it's like 104 or 6 or something like that with the heat index. I don't remember exactly, but it's hot. My he hooters are sweaty.
I don't even want to ask Adrian, just assuming because he's from Texas, I can only imagine how hot it is over there.
Honestly, it's not that bad today. It's humid, but it's only 93 today, surprisingly.
Oh, okay. So I guess
it's not that ain't gonna last, but
yeah, most definitely.
Enjoy it.
So I guess to add, yeah, it's hot. It is ball dripping hot. Of course, now alongside with fanciest of cats, we have our beloved Nathaniel Plummer. Wait,
Hello, Nathaniel.
Why does he make a caveman suit when he gets big? I would have him walk around naked with his big frame. Oh man, Nathaniel and his very unique, one of a kind comments. Gotta love it. Oscar, what is going on, brother? One of our first mods and one of our newest mods in oh my goodness, almost called him Jesus Christ, Brandon.
Brandon.
What is going on?
Banjos. Love the name.
All right. So now that is out of the way, of course, Brandon just hopped on freaking Facebook now. Now, before we get into the questions, for those that are chiming in, watching this, and have never came across this movie and didn't have the privilege of watching Samson last night, go through it on Twitch, I do have an overall synopsis regarding the movie, again, for those who did not watch it. So, Frankenstein versus Baragon, or Frankenstein versus the Subterranean Monster, is a 1965 tokusatsu kaiju film directed by Ishiro Honda and written by Karu Mabuchi, from a story by Ruben Berkovich and Jerry Soule, with special effects by Eiji Tsuburaya, produced by Toho, with co-fundings from Benedict Pictures. Its leading stars are none other than Tadao Takashima, Nick Adams, and Kumi Mizuno, Yoshio Tsuchiyawa, and Jun Tazaki. The stars responsible for bringing these monsters to life on the big screen are Sumio Nakao, who played Kid Frankenstein, Koji Furuhara, who played Frankenstein throughout the entire movie, and the one and only beloved Haru Nakajima, who played as Baragon. Side note, he was also a JSDF soldier in the movie. The film was released to Japan theaters by Toho on August 8th of 1965. American International Pictures released an edited English dubbed version titled Frankenstein Conquers the World to American theaters on July 8th, 1966. The overall synopsis of this movie starts in 1945. Hitler's Nazis seized the immortal heart of Frankenstein's monster and handed it over to Japanese, who kept it in a military hospital in Hiroshima. The heart was lost when the atom bomb leveled the city. But 15 years later, a wild boy is discovered by Dr. James Bowen and his assistants, Sueko Tagami and Kenshiro Kawaji. They concluded that this boy has regenerated from the irradiated heart of Frankenstein's monster and witnessed him grow to a gigantic size. The more they feed him, the Frankenstein creature then escapes and is soon blamed for several disasters occurring throughout all of Japan. However, Togami and Bowen believe these. You scared the crap out of me, Eric. Oh my goodness. However, Togami and Bowen believe these to be caused by a separate creature, the subterranean monster known as Baragon. Now, the scientists work to prove Frankenstein's innocence while Frankenstein must fight to save them from Baragon. Frankenstein vs. Baragon marked the first appearance of Frankenstein's monster in a Toho film after two previous aborted attempts, and also introduced the kaiju Baragon, who would go on to become a reoccurring character in the Godzilla series. It was followed by a loose sequel, The War of the Gargantuas, in 1966. So, again, that was just a little fun synopsis created to basically give the format of what the actual movie is. So, with all of that being said, I think it's safe to say we could just dive right into the questions and the slides that I have prepared for you guys.
Let's dive on in.
Is everybody ready?
Mm-hmm.
Let's do it.
All righty.
Let the games begin.
Up.
The games begin.
Alrighty.
You know, I know there isn't a Frankenstein, but there is a Baragon reaction figure at super7.com/monsterswithattitude2024 if you guys are interested in buying any memorabilia related to this film.
Thank you so much, Joseph. This is why I love you so much. Thank you, buddy.
You're welcome.
That is true, though. So for anybody who has yet to come across that awesome Super 7 reaction figure, I'd highly recommend it. And of course, by chiming in to our link tree, clicking that Super 7 link, you are more than likely to be able to acquire such a phenomenal piece into your collection.
Sir, yes, sir.
All righty. Here we go.
Come on! Just look at him! That's right! Quick!
The overall story. So I'm going to ask you guys 3 questions pertaining to the overall story, since we are all very fond of this specific movie. To start off, in your guys' opinions, how well was the story told in this movie? I will start with, I'm going to do it a little different. I'm going to shuffle a little bit. Adrian, since you went back to revisit this movie last night, so you do have a fresh reoccurring memory in your head. So again, how well was the story told in this movie, in your opinion?
So, story was definitely not the worst. That had an interesting concept to it. Maybe it was just because of the English version, but I know there was a lot of back and forth between what the characters thought was going on and things of that nature. So it kind of made it not confusing, but kind of like, whose side are they on? Are they on Frankenstein's side, or are they on the military side if they really want to kill him or not? But overall, for the story, I feel like the pacing could have been a lot better. We had a lot of downtime between seeing Frankenstein and the human characters doing what they're doing. And I mean, it's not like they was preparing to kill Godzilla or nothing. So I feel like we spent too much time with the human characters. So
Okay.
again, definitely not the worst story at all, not by no means, but it probably could have been moved along a little bit faster.
Joe.
I actually don't mind the story. I feel like it's kind of run of the mill with a lot of what Toho was putting out. It had the radiation theme, a little bit of post-war story or tie-ins, if you will. I thought it was kind of a little bit of a bold move to put in Nazi Germany. I think obviously Japan was an ally of Nazi Germany, which sometimes I feel like gets I don't want to say forgotten, but like I don't know, just
On the back burner, maybe.
yeah, maybe on the back burner. That's a great way to put it. So I kind of forgot about that, if I'm being honest, because this isn't a film that I go back to frequently. I am a huge fan of Baragon, but not a very big fan of Frankenstein. In general, I'm not a fan of Frankenstein, so it's not a movie that I put in a lot, and it's been a long, long time since I've seen it. So that kind of threw me off. But overall, or generally speaking, I don't think I have many complaints on it. It seems to be very similar to their introduction, their groundwork, their fundamentals on a lot of other kaiju and tokusatsu films of this era and of the genre. So, story I don't really have a problem with.
Okay. That leaves you, Eric.
Yeah, I didn't mind the story. This kind of movie reminds me of some of the other Godzilla films that we got that really focused on characters and the human characters. Obviously, we were focused mainly on Frankenstein and kind of his backstory, trying to understand him, and just trying to figure out, what he needs and what's he looking for, kind of thing. I thought it was interesting when I first saw this film that they put the Germans in here, and they kind of that was kind of like where the story started, was from Germany. But it makes sense because if not a lot of people know, Hitler was very big into the supernatural and the weird unknown type things. So it's not out of the realm of possibilities to know that the Germans actually had this in their possession in some way. So thinking about that, I was like, oh, that makes a lot of sense now. Like that just strengthens their original origin of how they started the movie, which I thought was really cool. But yeah, this movie was all about the characters, about Frankenstein specifically, obviously. But it was a solid film. It wasn't. I don't think it's supposed to be about kaiju and kaiju battles. That's not the point of what it was. So that was kind of nice. It was just kind of reminds me of like Astro Monster, or one of those films that really focuses on the human characters more per se, and then kind of throw in the kaiju battles. And also too, it's kind of to note that actually in Toho film, they actually referenced and actually kind of recreated Hiroshima in a way, which we know that they don't like talking about that or referencing that in any way. So it was kind of a big deal that they actually put that in this film and actually had a scene for it. So it was pretty groundbreaking, honestly. So
now, really quick, I just want to give a special shout out to probably one of the most adorable members in our group, and that is the man that is right below Adrian, and that is none other than Samzilla himself, you guys. This is like the Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson of the Godzilla community right here. Samson West, how you doing, brother?
I've never heard that. Oh, is my mic on? I'm sorry.
Oh, hey, I love you too, Eric. Doing good. Sorry for the late entrance. And there's no air conditioning in that truck. But
man.
I'm here and I'm ready to go after seeing this movie for the first time last night in 12 years. Fun stuff. Just fun stuff. Albeit a very abrupt ending.
All right. Well, I guess continuing with the question I had already asked Eric, Joe, and Adrian, the question I have for you pertaining to the story is, in your opinion, Samson, since you had another refreshing memory since you had watched it last night, how well was the story told in this movie?
How well was it told? I think it's decent at best. I mean, we didn't really get any background behind Baragon. He just kind of showed up out of nowhere. The origin behind the Frankenstein monster was great. It was interesting that they tied it back to Germany, because Frankenstein, as we know, is he's a European monster. That's where his origins come from. So, and twisting it into the World War II aspect of things was interesting. I was a little confused as to why they were experimenting on the heart. It had something to do with like protein. I kind of didn't quite pick up on that. It was like somehow the protein, and they were going to experiment with that to try to cure stuff. Am I remembering correctly? Even though I just watched it last night, I'm like, wait, what? Why were they
to keep people alive longer? I think, or forever.
Yes, that's what I thought, because I was like, wait a minute, this is just the plot of Deep Blue Sea. So they just stole that from this, basically. Just yeah, let's experiment on protein and put it in humans and fix all their problems. The rapid growth of our Frankenstein monster, the kind of King Kong love connection between our female character gave off that vibe, and it was fun. It was good. It's not like God tier Toho, but it's a good fun watch for sure. If you enjoy just some campy, good 1960s fun, I had a good time with it, and what it leads up to with the next year's film, which is a fan favorite for a lot of Toho fans. Yeah, I had a very good time watching and enjoying it. It's a fun little interesting story. And Eric, you nailed it. Actually, I came in at the right time, kind of recreating the tragedy of the bombs that were dropped on Japan. They retold that in a different way and tied in Frankenstein into the mix, having him involved with the whole point of all it. It was good. It was a good time. Good stuff. I'm sorry. I'm trying to cool off because I'm like 1,000 degrees right now with that no air conditioning in that truck, and I'm trying to.
No problem. I could only imagine how hot it is over there in good old Georgia. So there was something very interesting that both Joe and Eric did bring up, and that was actually one of the questions I had pertaining to the story. So to start off with Joe, to answer this question, is there anything you'd change in this movie pertaining to the story? If so, why?
So I don't know if this necessarily counts for something I would change, but off the top of my head, like for the story perspective, because I don't have a problem with the story of this kind of new origin for a Frankenstein type creature. My problem with the film is I love Baragon, and I just think that he was kind of wasted. He was just kind of put in there. So to me, I would have loved somebody else to have taken the whooping from Frankenstein than Baragon, personally. I don't know. To me, like they made this so much like a King Kong story. I think it was you, Jordan, that just alluded to that, or prefaced that with like the love story of Frankenstein and
that was Samson. Yep.
Oh, Samson, was it? Okay. With Kumi Mizuno, and just to me, like that type of stuff is, I don't know. It just doesn't do anything for me. So as far as like story in particular, the whole love story with Frankenstein, I think that's a little weird. But I also would have taken out Baragon. As much as I love Baragon and I'm glad that he was introduced, I don't like the way he was treated in the film.
Okay. Eric.
So I'm gonna. I don't think this was necessarily a love story. I think this was more of a motherly, maternal type relationship with them.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
Because he was a boy. He's not developed mentally. In his brain, he doesn't know. So she just kind of took it on herself to kind of take care of him and nurture him back to health and trying to make sure that he's okay. She had that maternal instinct with her. So when I see this movie, that's how I see it. I don't see it in that aspect in any way. And maybe that's just me, but that's just kind of how I see it. But the biggest thing I think I would change is the ending. As much as I like this film, the ending was just quick. It was quick. It wasn't, it didn't satisfy my need for an ending. And I just thought they could have done a little bit better with it. And maybe how they could have gotten rid of Frankenstein could have been a lot betterly done. But other than that, that's my biggest pet peeve is how they ended it, honestly.
Okay. Adrian.
So I got two things, honestly. One, the first one's going to be, I honestly wish the humans would spend a little bit more time with Frankenstein. I feel like we didn't get enough of, we didn't get enough backstory for Frankenstein. I mean, yeah, we got a lot of backstory, but like once he did get abnormally big, they kind of just, they're just chasing him after that for the rest of the film. They don't really, what's the word I'm looking for? They don't really try and, I guess, humanize him in a sense, or maybe even make him try and fit in society. It's either, they're just trying to prove, he didn't kill those people. And then eventually they're like, oh, yeah, he did kill those people until they finally find Baragon. Which brings up my second point. I wish Baragon's story would have been more fleshed out too, because, I mean, even if Daniel said it, he's just kind of thrown in the film just to get beat up on it. I don't like that either, because I actually do like Baragon. So I really feel like Baragon's story should have been more tied in with Frankenstein, just have a reason why he is showing up and not just randomly just showing up killing folks and eating horses, as someone mentioned earlier as well. But for me, those would be the two things I would change.
Okay. Sammy.
Y'all took every single answer that I liked, because I enjoy Baragon. He's such a good character, and he gets thrown out very easily. So Joe, you stole part one. Eric, you stole part two. The ending, if y'all watched last night, I was just like, As soon as that movie ended, I was just like, where's the rest of it? So if they could have changed something, and also thanks to Eric, I put on what I found out is the quote unquote secret ending of the film, that if they'd have kept that in, it would have been better. It would have been a better ending with that. It would have been a lot. There would be some more, what's the word I'm looking for now? It would have a better conclusion. I would be satisfied. And also it leads up to what comes next year, even better in 1966. It carries on what's supposed to follow. So, I wish Baragon had gotten more of a backstory and also been in it a little more, because I love me some monster action. And the ending could have really been not as abrupt for both the original theatrical Japanese and English version. But with the secret ending, if they'd have kept that, I would have liked that a lot more, because it just carries on the true ending a little bit further, and I liked it. It's solidified. It's a little bit more solidified.
I'm curious. I have a question. What is the secretive ending you're talking about?
Oh, do you want me to go ahead and spoil that? That's not a question that we have.
I have no idea if it's a question we have.
Jordan,
it's
is that
not.
okay?
No, go right ahead. Go right ahead. It is not part of the question.
Ooh, okay.
Well, if y'all watched last night, there is an ending that is an alternative. It's an alternative ending in the Japanese film, where after Frankenstein beats Baragon, a giant octopus shows up because they're supposedly all of a sudden battling next to the ocean. Even though they're in the middle of the woods, they're battling next to the ocean. So an octopus shows up and Frankenstein starts duking it out. It's kind of supposed to be like the octopus from like King Kong versus Godzilla. It's like that, except a practical effect big puppet, like a maquette, or not maquette, marionette. And he dukes it out. They both fall into the ocean, and it seems like the octopus chokes him out into the water. So that leads us up to what is going to come with Gargantua's a little bit better than what we got at the end of just the theatrical cut of the film. And I liked it better. I thought that it carried on the story. It wasn't so abrupt. It was a little bit more satisfying. That's the word that I was looking for earlier. Satisfying.
You know, the DVD that I have, I wonder if it's the original Japanese cut, because I remember that ending, but I didn't watch it last night. So I wonder, because that to me, like I thought you were going to say something else, because I remember seeing that. So I wonder if the DVD that I have is, or one of the copies I have, I should say, is the original Japanese version that has that ending, and the one I watched last night mustn't have been. So, because that was,
well, which one do you have? The Toho scope?
I do have the Toho scope, Eric, but I have two other versions of it. One is a bootleg, and the other is the two of them I got from, there was in a like a bundle deal. I don't know if we're supposed to say his name, but the guy who who used to sell bootlegs at G Fest.
Oh,
gotcha.
Like years and years ago.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I couldn't tell you what those are, and in fact, I don't even know if I still have one of them, if I'm being honest. So
the Toho scope has both versions, the English ending and the Japanese ending. So that's probably where you saw it.
Yeah.
Which coincidentally, Jordan,
is part.
Actually, yeah, it is the Toho scope, Eric. Yeah.
Can you show that
according
off,
to the information? Oh,
it is the Toho scope, Eric.
Okay.
Yeah.
What I was going to say was, according to the information on the discs that I have, the theatrical cut, the original theatrical cut, is the same as the English, and this one is an extended alternate ending. The both the English and Japanese have the same ending, but the only in the alternate cut is in Japanese with the octopus. So, Joe, you might have like both versions on yours. Like you might have.
Yep. He does.
Yeah.
Yep.
So now that I'm looking at it, because I've only watched this like maybe once or twice. The first disc is the original Japanese feature, and then disc 2 is the US release and special features. So I must have just always grabbed disc 1 and not really paid attention. Or at very least, at least one time I did. I can't say every time, but at least one time.
Well, anyways, folks, throwing that info out there. There is an alternate ending cut to this film if you haven't seen it before, and it's not a differently cut. It's an extended edition. Is technically what it is. After the fight with Baragon, instead of him just sinking into the earth as an earthquake erupts, an octopus shows up and they duke it out and fall into the ocean together. So it's just a extended alternate cut, I guess is the way to put it. It's just slightly whoa.
Echo.
I don't know what that was.
Anyways.
So, by a show of hands, who has seen the original Frankenstein movie?
From 33, I want to say 35.
Yeah,
I'm assuming it's the 33, the first one. I don't know what year the first one that I'm thinking of came out.
Like the Universal Monsters one.
Yes.
Yes, I've seen that.
I think I saw it in high school for English class, literature. Linglish, yes.
I may have seen
Literature
it
and
in
English.
passing, but I don't remember it if I have.
Yeah, I
Do you
don't
have
have
it, Joe?
I know that it's not accurate to the book, though. Mary Shelley's Frankenstein with Robert De Niro is supposed to be more accurate.
Okay. Well, I mean, Joe, you haven't seen the movie?
I may have. I really honestly don't know. I don't think so, but I really don't think so. I was never really a huge Universal monster fan.
Okay. I mean, well,
I watched the Universal monsters because I was such a big fan of Godzilla. Like,
yeah. Same here. I mean, well, that was gonna be the leadway to this next question. So I guess for anyone that has any type of memory going through that movie or any type of knowledge of just the Frankenstein character overall in general, how well did this movie capture the original story of the Frankenstein monster?
Not at all.
yeah, I don't.
Yeah, I was gonna say the same. Not at all.
Not at all.
It
Like,
didn't. It didn't.
It's
I mean,
own iteration. It's its own story. It's its own version.
Mhm.
Has really nothing to do. The only thing that's the same is the name Frankenstein.
Well-
That is it.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I'll say this. I agree. Probably 75% of it, no. But of him being a tragic character, sure.
Okay.
Created out of his control, created as a monster, and he's a weird anomaly in a time when. Okay, yeah, I can see similarities there. But as far as like the overall beats of the story or anything of that, no, I would have to say no. But it's both tragic characters and victims in their own different ways.
Okay.
no better way to put it.
So
And
it's
this
safe
is-
to say. Go ahead, Eric. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. No.
So it's safe to say that the movie literally it's its own entity, comparing it to the original Frankenstein. All right, that is completely fine.
And
Oh, for sure.
I was just gonna say about Leslie's comment. Yeah, this is absolutely right on.
Yeah.
Where Leslie says it's just like the Japanese Spider-Man. It's this unique foreign take on an established, highly popular character. If you haven't seen Japanese Spider-Man, yes, it is over the top,
Yeah.
crazy, but it's a lot of fun.
So I've heard.
That was a good way to put it, Leslie. Wow.
Mhm.
All right, well, that would then exclude the topic regarding the story. Now, I would like to touch base on something that we already kind of nitpicked a little bit, and that is
The story of Hiroshima is tragic, but it's given us the opportunity to study the cellular tissues of the human body. It's ironic, but science progresses in this way.
the characters. Just like with the stories, I'm not going to give my opinion regarding the characters. These are questions I have pertaining directly to you guys. Since I already pretty much gave my opinion, being that I love this movie from start to finish, any version doesn't matter to me. So to start off with, I will say, Samson, which human protagonist did you enjoy the most?
Ooh, not what did I think about the characters? Which one do I like the most? Okay, you're taking a different twist on things, not making it less boring than usual. Not saying that you do, but just like any of us, whenever like, oh, let's talk about the characters. What'd you think? Which one did I like best? We're talking protagonists, I guess, here, because there's not really any antagonist characters.
Yeah.
Not
These
really.
three right here. These are the guys that stole the show. So yeah, out of the three that are presented to you right here, right now, who did you enjoy the most?
I got to give it to our girl in the middle for being the most sympathetic and caring and having the actually, Eric, I think you put it best, or Joe did, whoever said the motherly connection over love connection. Her sympathetic motherly connection was it was heartwarming, and she cared, and she didn't want to see this, even though it was a monster. She didn't want to see anything bad happen to our main boy, and she just kept fighting for him no matter what. But yeah, if I were to be realistic about the three, everybody loves Nick Adams because of his enthusiasm and how he like portrays himself and carries himself on camera is always a lot of fun. So we love him in both our 1965 Toho films. But I got to give it to our girl in the middle, also in 1965 other Toho film. But how much she put out there about the care and love that she put towards this tragic young boy monster man thing. It was heartfelt if you look at it that way, that she cared. She really cared.
Joe.
Nick Adams. Yeah, I just, excuse me. Leslie actually said it the best in the comments about how his acting, his story. Excuse me, I apologize. He says the whole cast is really solid, but clearly Nick Adams steals the show. And when you compare him to the lackluster, lazy, pompous dirtbag lead guy in the next movie, he's amazing.
He's not wrong.
No, I can't wait till we talk about that movie. I cannot wait.
Neither can I. Neither can I.
We're talking about War of the Gargantuas. I'm sick that day.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I like Nick Adams. It's I think, I'm not sure how this is gonna sound, but hear me out. I think as a kid seeing some of these movies and having a white person in there, it let me relate a little bit more. And I know that sounds like really bad, and I don't mean it to at all. I just mean it as in like everybody always made fun of like, oh, the lips don't match the voice or this or that, and it let me I don't know, I guess it made me relate a little bit more. So, and I don't know, I just, because I was such a fan of these films and watched all of them so much, specifically like Monster Zero, and seeing him so much, there was probably a time when I guess you could have said that he was like my favorite actor, just because he was, one of the ones that I recognize so much. And so yeah, I don't know. I got to give it to Nick Adams.
Adrian,
forgive my ignorance. Outside of Astro and this one, did he ever do any other Japanese flicks? Or, I mean, as Toho fans, we know these two for sure. But
his last Toho film was The Vapor Man. So this was
I didn't put that on the list, I guess. Huh.
This was actually the first movie he ever did working with Toho.
It was this one before Astro. Gotcha.
Yep.
Leslie's gonna fill in for me when I'm sick that day.
What's it called again? Vapor Man? I'm putting it on the list.
Vapor Man.
Yes, Vapor Man.
Okay, all right.
Or is it Vapor Man or the Human Vapor?
It's the Human Vapor.
The Human Vapor, yeah. I'm sorry, I've been watching a lot of Ultraman lately, so it just Vapor Man just fits within the category.
Vapor Man.
Sorry, go right ahead, Adrian.
It's the Vapor Human.
God damn it.
So I'm actually gonna agree with Samson, ever so slightly though, because it really is a toss-up between Megumi and Nick Adams. But the thing I did like about Megumi is he stayed true to form the entire movie. Everybody else was, Frankenstein did it, let's go kill him. Oh, he did this, he did that. Everybody else was blaming him and really was always turning against him. But in that motherly role that she had, she was ride or die for him, honestly, throughout the entire movie, no matter what was going on. No matter how big he got, even when he had that close to inappropriate touch in the movies, he wasn't really freaking out like that. Everybody else was. She was really down for him as a motherly figure, and that's the only reason why I put her slightly above Nick Adams for me. She stayed true to form the entire movie.
Yeah, okay. Mr. Stope.
Before I say, are we going to talk about like the ones we don't like in any way?
No, but you can give an opinion about that.
So I just real quick there's one character that I just didn't understand. I didn't really like was Kawaji. He was so wishy-washy with how he wanted to treat and whatever Frankenstein was ridiculous. Like first, oh yeah, let's save him. Oh no, let's kill him. Hey, no, we need to save him for sight. No, I want to chop his hand off or his limb off. Oh no, I have a bomb for him. Let's blow him up. Like, dude, seriously, like get out of here. Like he was ridiculous. He bugged me, but obviously it's going to be Nick Adams. Just puts on a performance. He just has that aura, that charisma about him when he puts on performances that you just believe. You know, whether it's comedy or if it's supposed to be suave or angry or whatever. Plus, you know, his lines are so iconic that you can just, you know, memorize them, re-say them. It's just a lot of fun. You can't go wrong with Nick Adams, and I just loved his role in this. And there's really not much more to say about it because he's amazing. So just too bad we didn't get more of him in the Toho verse than what we got.
Right on. Another topic pertaining to the characters I would like to ask you guys is we all know, especially being a fan of this beloved community, Toho would always bring in a new movie, but always bring back familiar faces to play as the human characters. Is there any iconic actor or actress you guys would have liked to have seen return for the Frankenstein movie that had existed previously and then will continue to come back in Toho cinema in the near future? Or are you content with the actors that were in this movie and didn't feel like you needed to add anybody else like Akira Takarada to kind of like bring the hype back?
Oh God, Leslie.
There was a lot of familiar faces already. It's kind of hard. I mean, these three were big. Those three big name Toho actors. Well, the two in the left, and then of course Nick Adams. But I mean, if they brought Akira Takarada, that would have been cool. But the fact that the same year we get the Invasion movie, it's like, okay, well, there's our love for him in that one alongside Nick Adams. I mean, I'm so bad with names. It's
okay. I am too.
Kenji Sahara had one of his cameos, like in every Toho anything ever. You got to see him for a second in one of the war rooms next to the whiteboard. I'm so bad with names. Like you had the bigger fella who is he was like the lead newscaster in Mothra. He was like in control of everything and like go eat your eggs. He was kind of the grumpy butthole, and this one as well.
Basically, the general. Yeah.
Yes.
So
you know him as the general. I'm sorry.
Literally.
We recognize, there's a lot of face. We already saw a lot of familiar faces, so it seemed like they did a perfectly fine job with what we had already, and a lot of other lesser known ones. Like when they brought in the lights to try to film him in the cage, when they tried to film Frankenstein, excuse me. One of the guys holding the lights, he was the guy that was going to go get the hat down in the hole, like for 500 yen, from Mothra Ghidra, the three-headed monster. He was going to go get the hat when he was bargaining with the guy that dropped the hat, and then Rodan comes out. I'm mixing up everything right now. You know what I'm talking about, right? He was also in King Kong.
Yeah,
King
I
Kong
know you're
versus
talking
Godzilla.
about. He plays more like a comedic role in Toho movies. Yeah.
Yes, we saw him. So we saw lots of recognizable faces. Eric, what are you smiling at?
Yeah.
I'm not.
Yeah, I'm kind of on Samson's. Oh God, I'm kind of on Samson's side. We honestly pretty much got a pretty big cast of familiar faces in other Toho films. Besides Takarada, I mean, who else could they really have thrown in there that we didn't know already? So I was fine with everybody that we did get special guest appearances from. To be honest.
Eric.
I mean, I'm not going to go through everybody, but yeah, basically everybody that had basically appeared in a Godzilla film was in this film. Like everybody. Like I'm not going to go through them, like I said, but I mean everybody that you could just kind of pick out and you could recognize they were either in a previous film or later on kept going in the Showa era. So I mean, the casting was perfect, and it was the alum of the Toho actors and actresses, honestly. So I mean, it was perfect.
Joe?
I'm sorry. Was your question is who would we add that was in a other
like, who
Godzilla
would
movie?
you have liked to have seen come back and return in this movie? Since we know that Toho likes to rehire a lot of iconic actors and actresses in their movies.
Oh, that's easy. Don Fry.
Okay. In a different universe, we would take that.
How would Don Fry even been? My God,
I don't really have an answer because I can't like I said kind of at the beginning. This isn't one of my favorites, so it's fine the way it is.
Well, Don Fry would have been a month old. He could have been in it. He was born in November of '65. So
yeah, he could have played infant Frankenstein.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Millie Bobby Brown. Through that. So I mean, I'm pretty confident in saying that we would all agree pertaining to this specific question I have set up for you guys. We've seen multiple of American portrays in Japanese property, ranging from whether it be Godzilla, Ultraman, Gamera, and a lot of the acting, even in anime, a lot of their acting is just straight trash. So for Nick Adams, being that this was his first Toho film, and I think this was the first, I was gonna say now I would have lied. I feel like this would have been the first movie where Toho had introduced a top lead American actor in their movie. How did you guys believe he did? Again, I'm pretty confident in saying that we all agree that he did phenomenal in this movie. So I guess I would start with Joe, since he loves Nick Adams in this movie alongside a good chunk of other people.
Yeah, I mean, I know that there's some hate for Nick out there, but I don't I don't personally get it. I like Nick, but Nick Adams, I know there's stories or rumors of backstage that he maybe wasn't like the nicest person in the world.
Okay.
But I don't know. I wasn't there. I don't I try not to judge on things that that I don't for sure have firsthand knowledge of. You know what I mean? So yeah, I really don't know what else to say.
Eric.
Obviously, I mean, he did a tremendous job. I mean, it's no question. When you think of American actors in kaiju movies, his is the first to the list. There's nobody above. We had Road Reasons, we had Don Fry. We've had our sprinkle of people, but there's nobody that even comes close to what Nick Adams did and what he did on screen, honestly, for these kaiju films. So I mean, he's number one by far.
Couldn't have said it any better. Samson.
I'm still here. This is disheartening. I can't see me. I mean, he's our cool Tomcat, suave kind of guy. Everybody, it's hard not to love the guy because he does such a good job. It's a shame that he passed when he did and couldn't continue on, but I don't know what to say more about it. It's iconic to think about him. It's who else is the other American we can think of is from the 56 movie.
Raymond Burr.
Raymond
Burr. Yeah.
Oh,
so he wasn't filmed they didn't film alongside each other because that was filmed in America and implemented into the film. So it's not the same as this. This is where he actually got to act alongside the Japanese people. And I think he did a fine job. It's fun to see him act in another Toho film since I hadn't seen this in so long, other than Astro Monster, which that's going to be a fun show.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
That is gonna be a fun show.
I thought you meant like filmed in Japan. Like if you mean, any yeah, Raymond Burr by far.
Okay.
But yeah, no, I agree with what Eric said though. If you're talking about like, in the original Japanese version, I think it's got to be Nick.
Mm-hmm. Adrian.
Yeah, I honestly can't say anything different than what everybody else said already. I mean, Nick Adams, we know who Nick Adams is. He always brings it every time he's in a film, and he makes these films that much better. Even Leslie mentioned it earlier. Him bringing his star power and charisma to this film makes this film watchable, honestly, because he does such an incredible job with this. He does such an incredible job in this movie. So, yeah, I mean, besides Raymond Burr, Nick Adams is the only other American actor you can really think of when you think of Japan Godzilla. Or
Yeah,
Toho
I mean,
Godzilla. There it goes. Toho
yeah.
Godzilla.
I mean, you guys were all spot on. I always felt like there was a caliber he had to meet as an American actor going into Japan working in a kaiju film, and that standard was Nick Adams. There's nobody that can ever be close to him, in my opinion, in terms of how he had performed in these Japanese movies. So yeah, I mean, that's the first time when you were talking a little bit more about it, Joe, about the hate that Nick has received. Backstage heat. I've never even heard that to begin with, so that was definitely first for me. But just like you, I'm not gonna take that away from what he gave us as fans of this genre. So yeah. So now that we are done with the characters, of course, you can't go without enjoying a kaiju movie without talking about. So, of course, we are fans of this fandom because of the kaiju action. So, I mean, being that you guys already kind of gave your own personal opinions about Frankenstein overall in general in this movie, I would like to dig up a little bit more feedback from you guys pertaining to Frankenstein in this movie. What were your overall thoughts of him in this specific movie? Starting with the man that pretty much made it very loud and clear before we went live, Mr. Joseph Myers.
Do you want me to just talk about Frankenstein or Frankenstein and
just Frankenstein? Yeah,
just Frankenstein.
It could even be about like what you would have liked to have seen him do a little bit more to kind of like justify maybe your opinion or your hate for him. But by all means, go right ahead.
To me, like giant humans, it's just, I don't know. It's just kind of a boring or lackluster to me. I don't know, off the top of my head, what I think they could have done differently with Frankenstein to make me like him more or less, for that matter. It's just, I don't know. It's just the humanoid monsters are just boring to me. Trolls, Sasquatches, Bigfoot. It's like meh, whatever. Now, don't get me wrong. Like, a good Sasquatch or Bigfoot Yeti movie, sure, okay, but a gigantic proportioned monster, like it's just very boring. There's no imagination, I feel. And it's just all very lackluster. I think honestly what maybe could have made this film better is the removal of Baragon altogether, and they could have just focused on Frankenstein. And had it be something where they focus on him, he has to fight, military or something. I don't understand why he had to fight a kaiju. It didn't make sense. But I guess, to be fair, if they didn't, they probably threw the kaiju in to get fans of monsters to go see it, because I'll be honest, that's the only reason why I would have seen this movie. I don't care that Toho actors were in it, or that Toho did it, or that it's loosely associated with the Godzilla franchise. I probably would not have ever watched it if it was just a Frankenstein movie. So, yeah, I don't know. Take that information and do with it what you will.
Adrian. And that
So
is
honestly,
wait before you go, Leslie, that we will talk about that a little bit more towards the end. Sorry, Adrian, go right ahead.
I agree with Joe, honestly. I honestly don't care about Frankenstein whatsoever, honestly. His design is just meh to me. Like Joe said, him being a humanoid monster, that's never been something that appealed to me. Even whenever the movie came out, the movie about the 50-foot woman, whatever.
Attack of the 50-foot woman.
Thank you, Attack of the 50-foot woman. Even that didn't really do anything for me back in the day when I saw that. Frankenstein doesn't do anything for me now. He's just to me.
Eric.
This Frankenstein is not Caucasian. Let's just put it that
No, he is not.
I was catching that when they say that. I was like, oh, okay. And then they put a green in his eyes. What? No.
It's not how that works.
Yeah, absolutely not.
But like we stated, it was their take on this character, so you have to respect, how they went about designing him. It was different than we're used to. We're all used to the American monster that is big and lumbering and slow moving. We did not get that with this Frankenstein. We got a very quick, agile, almost even thought-provoking at some times, especially as he got bigger. It almost like he got smarter because he was trying to outsmart Baragon and do different things to him to conquer him, for lack of a better word. So it was interesting. I don't mind the story of Frankenstein. It is kind of nice to see a different monster, not a kaiju, go up against another kaiju. It's been very unique, very different. But you just kind of have to respect their way on and their portrayal of this particular famous character. Honestly, that's been around for, forever. Honestly, but it's with the whole what Leslie said about the original idea, that wasn't even the original idea. There was another original idea with Frankenstein, but we can talk about that also when we talk about that segment. But yeah, I didn't think it was terrible. Very different, very unique. So I kind of just take it as that and kind of go with it. So
okay. Samson.
It was a different, interesting take. I kind of liked the fact that we had it was very raw in the sense that he didn't have any abilities. He didn't really have, except for being able to regrow one hand. But him having to just fight this fire-breathing creature, it's basically, it's kind of like King Kong versus Godzilla, I guess. But seeing a Toho actor fighting in nothing but his skin and a loincloth against this giant creature, it led you to you're rooting for him. You're like, oh man, let's see what he can do. Let's see how he can overcome this fire-breathing, ground-digging monster. Oh, trees and rocks. Okay. So I didn't hate it, but it's definitely not it's not top tier, god tier monster in any fashion or form. And Eric said it best when we were watching it last night. I was like, no. What? You keep using that word. I don't think it means what you think it means. I was like, no, not at all.
All right.
Good question, Jordan. Eric, I know you've seen this part more than all of us. Do they say he's Caucasian in the Japanese version too, or is that only in the English version?
No, they do.
What? Christ. Okay. The blasphemy. Okay, that's all. That's all I need to know. Thank you. Oh,
gotta love it. Gotta love it. Hey, all I'm saying is, if Frankenstein was Puerto Rican, the movie would have been a lot more shorter. I'll tell you that. He would have killed Bear Guy like that.
Yeah, he just would have stabbed him and walked away.
Oh goodness. So, speaking of Baragon, of course, Joe, you hit the nail right in the coffin. We all love our good boy Baragon. What did you guys think about Baragon, being that this was his initial debut in the lore of kaiju? I'll start with Eric.
I mean, this is his star role, man. Like literally, you can almost say this was almost his film at the same time. I wish they did more with him instead of just kind of briefly just kind of throwing him in there, and then they just kind of met up and then just started duking it out, kind of thing. I loved how he moved, how he looked, his abilities. It's sad that we didn't get that kind of stuff later on, especially like the atomic red breath. Like that was great. It looked so good. It's just it sucks that his demise was definitely done after this movie, and he was ripped apart literally. But I guess at the same time, he is inspiration and the birth child of all these other kaiju that came after him. He was the mold that shaped all these other kaiju to get their screen time. So you got to give him some love for that. No other costume or character can ever say that. But he was really great. I really do love this Baragon. I might even love him more than the GMK, honestly. I liked the GMK, but I thought he was too small. But I really liked how big he was, how menacing he was, and just his abilities. I think he really could have. I really would have loved to see this style and version of Baragon fight actually Godzilla. Like it would have been a really good matchup. So.
Okay. Adrian.
one of the bestest boys. And yes, I know I got 68 head on here right now, but that's only because I don't have my hair dryer. But here's a 65 head. But yeah, honestly, Baragon is freaking awesome. I don't know why I would rank him amongst my favorite kaiju, but he's definitely one of my favorite Showa kaiju, honestly, because he has such a pretty cool and unique design to him. He has pretty cool abilities. I hate that he got his ass whooped in this movie because he really shouldn't have. And I do wish and like I mentioned earlier, I wish he had a little bit more screen time too, so we can get to know Baragon as a kaiju. We didn't get enough of that, and I wish we got a little bit more. But I absolutely love Baragon, love him in this movie, and I'm with Eric also. I think this is my favorite version of Baragon. The GMK suit looks the best, but as far as performance, definitely 65.
I mean, come on, you can't argue with that. He was performed by none other than Haru Nakajima, so definitely shout outs to the 65 Baragon. Samson.
Absolutely. This creature is a lot of fun. Very, very animalistic, but with some kind of very different, just what's the word I'm looking for? Not so like obscure that it's like on the edge of being like Gigan or Megalon, but very different. It's very animalistic, but with crazy features like the horn in the middle of his head and being able to breathe fire, and just it's cool, and just being able to leap like a freak out of nowhere. I feel like there was only one way they could film this movie, and it was in real speed. They couldn't do the whole slowed down thing like they did with other Toho films, because it would probably make the Frankenstein monster look a little too goofy to try to have him act at a higher pace. But I love Baragon. It's a shame they immediately chopped him apart after this film, right? To get him into the Ultraman franchise. and they put him back together, or made a whole new suit for 68 for his small cameo in Destroy All Monsters.
Yeah.
Or how
I don't
did
think
that
it's a
happen?
whole new suit.
It's not a whole new suit.
It's
definitely
it's slightly
reunion.
different. It's
The
but it
head
is
is different.
It's the head.
It's plumper. It's plumper
Yeah.
for sure. But Baragon's a lot of fun. He doesn't have that much love. It's such a shame that stuff like that happens. In the case of Baragon, Varan, a lot of the AN ending kaiju, any kaiju with an AN at the end of their name, it's just kind of one and done. But I do like Baragon's portrayal in this film after seeing it for the first time in 12 years. It was really cool. I wish he had gotten more of an origin story. He just kind of got, there he is. Just here's Baragon. He's fighting Frankenstein now. But I enjoy him as a kaiju, and now I understand why people have more love for him after seeing this film, that he is the main character. This was his introduction. This is what he first showed up in. So he's fun. I don't have the 65. I have the 68 version with the Destroy All Monsters set. That's the only one that I have right now. I know. Eric, you have the FSL. And, it's probably still in the box, but that's fine.
No, it's not.
Wow.
I have a stronger appreciation for the 65 design now, and now I'm like, oh crap. Let's see. We got Bandai Premium, X Plus. What can I hunt down and find?
I'll tell you, for Aragon's sake, there's definitely a lot of things you could nitpick with if you want a definitive piece to represent him. But we will get to that. We will get to that.
Okay.
Last but not least, Joe.
Like I've kind of said throughout the show, I love Baragon. He's definitely one of my favorite kaiju for sure. I wish he would have gotten more love in future films. I guess, he was the suit was so beaten up from the Ultraman shows that his return appearances were ultimately scrapped because the suit just looked so bad, which is really a shame. I would have rather this have been a Baragon movie and him taking that horn and killed Frankenstein with it.
Yes, absolutely.
I just don't one of my problems with humanoid kaiju is they always win and they always beat the shit out of really, really cool monster designs. And I'm like, okay, let's take this in perspective. If Frankenstein is a human and Baragon is a bear, who's gonna win? You know what I mean? Come on, he has a horn, he has teeth, he has claws, he has a heat ray. Baragon's amazing. He's awesome. I love him. I hope he comes back. I would love to see Baragon in the Monsterverse or in one of Yamazaki's upcoming Godzilla films. That would be amazing. I would love to see Baragon and Anguirus make a return together as allies of Godzilla, and instead of it kind of being, I like the fact that I like more real monsters sometimes, and you can kind of believe that maybe something like a Baragon existed prehistorically, and so that's why I'm a big fan of monsters like Baragon, Anguirus, Titanosaurus, Gorosaurus, because it kind of makes sense. So a lot of love here for Baragon, and I'd love to see him back.
I forgot. I do have a really good representation. I have the OG Bandai. So
okay, wait. We will get there. We will get there, Sammy. I promise you.
I was trying to jump the gun. We were talking about Baragon, so I was like, oh man.
Don't worry.
Speaking of Samson, you kind of already brought this up to everybody's attention. I did not remember this being one of the questions, but pertaining to the climatic ending between the Battle of the Century with Frankenstein and Baragon, there was another separate ending where it featured the giant octopus that basically drowned Frankenstein, hence the end. Which ending did you guys prefer? Did you guys enjoy Frankenstein kind of, sinking in with the deceased Baragon corpse right below him, or did you guys prefer that, his send-off was into deep sea caused by the giant octopus? I will start with Samson, since you kind of tackled that on earlier in the show.
As I stated when I tackled it, as you said, I like that ending better. I think it ties things up a little bit more satisfyingly. Is that a word? Satisfyingly. It's a little bit more satisfying the way that one ended. Instead, when I saw the original ending, I was a little flabbergasted as to how abrupt it was. So, I thank you, Eric, for telling me about the other one, because I did enjoy that one better. And yes, so I did like it, but I liked it better. Let me just shut the fuck up and say I liked it better.
Eric.
I'm torn because I like the octopus ending. Don't get me wrong. I like that he actually picked up Baragon again and threw him off the cliff, and you see him just kind of almost explode almost. But you're telling me that he beat this radioactive subterranean monster, and then this sucker gets pulled into the water by a damn octopus and dies? What? Make it make sense. But I do like that ending more than the American ending, because I don't like that he just kind of. I mean, I like it because it's like his victory pose. He conquered Baragon, but yet he still doesn't win because he goes down into the fissure and basically dies too. But I just like that we got a little bit extra drawn out ending with that octopus that I just thought was really terrific, and wasn't even meant to be there, but accidentally it was there. So I'm really fine with either of them, honestly, because I do have the nitpick with that octopus scene of just how the hell did that thing kill him when he just got done beating Baragon. It just makes the defeat of Baragon more lackluster, because almost made it sound or feel like he wasn't that hard. And then this octopus was the final boss. What? Come on. So I don't know. It's hard. I like both of them. I understand both of them. So I do like both.
Well, I'm not saying I like that the octopus killed him, and that was it. It was more satisfying than just the end.
Yep.
I don't like the octopus killed him. I was kind of like, oh man, is there going to be something that followed? But then when it did, I was kind of like, oh, well, okay. So I see where you come from with that for sure, because it did not help that he fought Baragon, and that was a devastating creature, and then choked out by an octopus.
Yeah.
Adrian.
When I first saw this movie, I was pissed about the ending. Severely pissed.
Which
Watching
ending?
on DK, the original ending, because that's the one I saw first.
Okay.
And then it wasn't until I forgot. I know I saw it on DKU TV, the alternate ending. I was like, oh, there was another ending to this movie? No. Eric actually brought it up to me when we was watching it on DKU TV, and I went to go find it, and I saw it, and I was like, well, why the hell didn't they show this fucking ending? Honestly, because I mean, the original ending was just, like Samson said, it was just so sudden. Like if you blink, you missed the ending of the movie. So it was just like, why? Like, why did they end it like that? So it definitely made me feel a lot better watching Frankenstein get choked out and dragged into the ocean.
The humans barely had any dialogue. It was just like, oh, he's dragged underground. The end. They didn't even say oh no, what will happen? It was just boom.
They just like, oh well.
Yeah,
let's go home. Guess. Oh well.
And that's why that ending is great, but it's still not the best. It still ended abruptly. They could have said something here, but it was just done. So
not even oh, I feel so bad for Frankenstein. What will we do? Well, we'll carry on. It'll be fine. Let's go home. It was just
nothing. He was just like, oh, he's dead.
Joe.
I mean, I don't really care either way. It's they're both kind of random to me. I think I prefer the non-octopus ending, because I feel like the octopus is just so random. It's like all of a sudden
Yeah.
it's like, oh, by the way,
Yeah,
here's
it
a
is.
giant octopus that you haven't seen in 3 years. And I'm back, bitches. You know, so yeah, it's just it's so random, and then it's like, I'm not gonna do anything but kill the hero of your story, and you will never see me again, ever. And I'm like, all right. So, so whatever. If you like non-octo ending, great. If you like octo ending, great.
Exactly.
Well said, boys. Well said. Since during this topic, I've seen a few of you guys flash your figurines. So that will then lead to the next topic that I have for you guys, and I hope you guys enjoy this. Very I mean, every time I see this, I instantly thought about this category. So let's jump right into our next topic of discussion.
Oh, this is a great topic.
Mhm.
Monsters Part 2. Okay. So, yeah.
So the super secret ending is when a giant jaguar runs out of the forest and then fights the octopus and kills it.
Yeah, and the
I like the
devil
ending.
comes walking up and everything.
And then the horse that was initially killed turns into a zombie and comes back with the power of the hand and fights Frankenstein. And yeah.
Yep.
And then Doctor
God.
Who revives the murdered rabbit into a giant robot called Rabbittron and kills everybody. But the nuclear reactor leaks, melts down, reanimates Frankenstein. Kumi Mizuno grows big. They end up running away and having a bunch of offspring, little Frankenweenies. Before you know it,
Frankenweenies.
extinct, and Frankenstein Kumi Mizuno creatures inhabit the world. The end.
We're bantering here for you, Jordan. Jeez, so come on now, this is gold.
Technical. I don't know what the hell happened with this slide. It decided to stop showing. All right.
Oh,
I have it.
Disappeared? Oh, here we go.
There
The toys.
Yeah.
Hey, look at
That's what he was going for. Whoa.
Oh
yeah.
Oh,
I mean, hey, if you're not going, what was that?
Is
That was not
Jordan
me.
freezing for everybody, or is it just for me?
Yes,
He
is.
was.
Going loco. He's going loco.
Am I good?
yeah.
Yeah,
for
it's
now.
just that you took the slide off the screen and we were all wondering what happened.
Yeah.
That
So rude.
all right. So I'm still good, right?
Yes, everything.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we can still see you.
All right. That was weird. I was messing with the slide. It didn't show, so I just added it from a separate clip, and now it's back to the original slide. All right. Well, whatever. So first and foremost, just want to shout out fellow model kit creator and friend to MWA, Marcellus Winters, for this specific display they had last year at G Fest. This,
cool.
in my opinion, this is what stole the show in the model kit room. But onto the toy topic. I know that I mentioned earlier on that each category was going to be given 3 questions, but this is only going to have 2. What are your holy grail collectibles pertaining to this movie, if you guys have any? Starting off with the guy who literally owns like 3 houses of figures, Joe.
Are you saying like things we would wish they would make? Is that what you're saying?
No, so like, is there like
down?
Is there
out
a
there
holy
now?
grail? Yeah, they're out there right now. Is there a holy grail piece? I know you are a completionist.
Yeah, I think think I have every. There's not a whole bunch. I have the the premium Bandai set. I have the X Plus Baragons.
Bandai.
I mean, I don't really do model kits, so obviously, like these models are, beautiful and yes, but I don't consider models when collecting, just because I don't do that unless they're sold like pre-made or something of that nature. But yeah, so yeah, I mean, I guess I guess it'd be kind of cool to see um a new X Plus Frankenstein, but that, I mean, that'll obviously probably not happen.
Probably
Though,
not.
I mean, maybe it will in a few years if the name falls into public domain. Though I might be able to do something with it, but yeah. Oh yeah, I have the Rebel Tech Baragon. Yes, forgot about that. Yeah, I don't know. There's a few. There's definitely a lot more Frankensteins than Baragons. Or I'm sorry, a lot more Baragons than Frankensteins.
I was
and yeah, I don't know. I like them all. I don't know really if there's anything out there that I don't have that I can say that I'm like really trying to hunt down. So I'm sorry for the wishy-washy answer, but I have the Baragons and the one Frankenstein that's been released. I don't care about the rest.
All right, Adrian.
So if I had to pick anything, it would probably be the Kaiju Freaks Frankenstein and Baragon set. Actually,
you just copy me, you loser.
Oh, whatever.
You know you did. Ugh.
Yes, because I really had your answer just sitting in my lap. Okay, Eric.
I've talked about it in the past. Don't even.
No, I mean you have, which is why I wanted, because I mean, just like you, Eric, I'm a 30 centimeter simps, and those are 30 centimeter figures. So if we're gonna have Frankenstein, I might as well have Baragon with it. So
So, you showed a picture of it or no?
I do.
Oh, I didn't know if it looked like you were looking for it.
No, I have it up, but
it's safe to say that, Eric, that's a holy grail piece of yours as well.
Oh, absolutely. That's my one that I've been looking for a little bit here. It's the Azai Kaiju Freaks Frankenstein versus Baragon model kit, 30 centimeter. It's such a dynamic pose. They're fighting. It's basically this pose what Marcellus has here. It's so good. And so that's the one that I want. I mean, I have the 25 centimeter, and it's great and all for what it was, because we didn't have anything for Frankenstein like at all that was like super accurate. So that was wonderful to get. But ever since finding out about that kit, like that's my like kit that I want, my representation of this movie that like would be above all else, honestly, is going to be that kit.
There you go.
Here it is. So it's super great. It looks amazing. So yeah, this would definitely be mine, just like what you was saying and stuff. But also too, I mean, I do have the FSL Baragon, which is stunning. This is better than their 30 centimeter standing one from Destroy All Monsters. Okay. This one the detail is just sick. This is actually based off of a model kit also. So it is just detailed to a T.
Ooh.
So
is this based off MM28 or what?
No, this is, oh God, Leslie, help me out. I don't remember the model company. It escapes me right now.
Yeah, I forgot who it was too.
I know Leslie knows it.
Of course he does.
But they brought this out in the vinyl line and the FSL line. So yeah, I knew I had to get it, and it's just absolutely perfect. So probably the best Baragon that's out there, maybe even just as good as the Azai, or maybe even better, because I do like that he's on all fours as a quadruped, so I do like that look for him. It's a wave kit. Okay, perfect. Okay, so yeah, that would be my two. I mean, I have, like Joe, I have the premium Bandai Frankenstein. I think this was the first official Frankenstein toy that we actually got out, which was immediate pre-order and buy for me. So this was definitely something that I got. Unfortunately, I never got the Baragon, so I'm actually still looking for that Baragon, because that Baragon comes with the Frankenstein hand that he pulls off when he gets out of the chains and the shackles. So that's really cool. But yeah, I got the 30 centimeter Baragon. I thought that was great with the swappable heads. I don't think the head for the 65 is very accurate. I actually did some modding where I kind of flapped his ears up a lot more, like he did in the movie, which was a great look for him. So yeah, I got what I can for this movie for toy wise and representation, but it's very limited. I used to have Safubi of it. I got rid of the M1 set, but there is a Marmot, Baragon, and Frankenstein, which I'm actually on the lookout for those. So I do want to eventually get those one day. So, but yeah, other than that would be it for me. There you go. See, yeah, you got it.
Okay. Samson.
I am looking at all that stuff right now, and because I was like, I know that there has to be a Frankenstein out there in Safubi form.
Yeah, there is.
The two that exist, I just now saw them as you mentioned them as I was scrolling through Club Tokyo. The M1, and then there is a Marmot. Yep. But for me, the one that I would like as the Parababy collector that I am, I don't have either of the two Baragons that exist, the standing or the crawling. With which one? They each come with their own unique thing. One comes with a hut, and the other one comes with. What does the other one come with? I can't remember who comes with what. There's the crawling and standing, and one comes with a hut, and I don't remember which one. And the other one comes with.
I think it's a tank.
Is it just a tank? But I don't.
Destroy monsters.
Oh, so one of them is supposed to be the dam figure, and one's supposed to be the 65.
I think it's the standing one that's the dam, and then the all fours one is the Frankenstein.
But I don't have that in my Parababy collection, so. And I'm a sucker for. I have to have it with its little extra piece. Every single one that I have has the extra piece, so I'm a glutton for those things for sure. And now that I've gotten all the Godzilla stuff, I'm kind of on the hunt for the non-Godzilla Toho creatures. Gargantuous head, Aragon, Mogira, Varan. It's dang. Now it's been so many years.
Man.
It's getting thinner. It's getting thinner and harder and more expensive. So that's my answer for sure.
Okay. So the other question I have, what company do you guys want to see tackle on any type of Frankenstein versus Baragon collectible?
I already got my answer. If I can go first, if that's okay.
Yeah, I got mine too. Go ahead.
I think we might have the same answer. Adrian, go ahead.
I think we do too. Mondo.
That was one of mine.
The Mondo sets have been absolutely incredible. They would murder this movie. It would be amazing to see that.
I mean, Eric, you could go right ahead. You could second that.
That was one of my two. But I'll if I want more realistic, lifelike, I'm going Black Dragon Studios for model kit.
Okay.
They would just tear up this freaking Frankenstein design, man. It would look so beastly. So something like that would be just amazing. Yeah, Galloping Ghost too. I mean, that would be a good one too.
Which I'm shocked Doc hasn't done one yet. I swear I thought he did.
Joe.
Ichiban Kuji.
Ooh, okay. Very nice.
Yes, sir.
And nice and affordable too. That'd be awesome.
Yeah. Yeah.
Samson.
Well, I wish X Plus would make a better, more dynamic Frankenstein than him just standing there like this. That was disappointing. I would have gotten it. I would have gotten it otherwise because with the hands barely up. It's like, really? That's so the other one is just with his hands by his side, like his mugshot. Okay. Yeah. I'm a man of simple taste, so I wish that they would make a dynamic one just like in this photo. X Plus tackle that, but now that I'm kind of with the Sofubi love and Mondo doing such a fantastic job and becoming the new Marmot, I like what whoever stole the show with that answer. That'd be good.
Yeah, I mean, Eric and Adrian, literally before I even hopped on live, I was reviewing my questions and answering that question for me. It was hands down. I would love to see Mondo tackle this on with all their other sets that they've done in the past. And being that I've been on the Sofubi wave for quite some time, I would have loved to have added those into the collection, especially next to the Sofubi set that I do have of Frankenstein versus Baragon. Asking for experts to do anything. Oh my goodness. Couldn't have said it any other way, Leslie. So of course, with the topic of the toys wrapping up, I do want to share with everybody that is tuning into this that, of course, if you guys have been on board with us, every monthly show we are committed to do a giveaway. And so my giveaway to any lucky winner will not only be the Bandai Movie Monster Series Baragon, but also the Frankenstein Conquers the World or Frankenstein vs. Baragon DVD by Toho Scopes or Tokyo Shock. So these will be given away together. All right. If I had deep pockets like Joe, I would have definitely found a set pertaining to a possible Frankenstein figure, but these are mine. You guys can have them. But
that DVD is out of print, man. You can't find that.
It is.
That is true. That's important.
Is a very rare item right there. Like that's nothing to laugh about. That is a legit awesome set. I have it. Joe has it. Out of print. I mean, it's good stuff.
It comes with, oh my goodness, tremendous special features ranging from other classic Toho Kaiju trailers, photo gallery, whether it be behind the scenes, trading cards, pictures of actual figurines that you could possibly come across online, of course, the Japanese version, the alternate endings, and so much more. So, yeah. So, for the hashtag to possibly win those two figures all in one shot, we're gonna do actually like Monster Kid Corey's previous hashtag. Let's do Justice for Barry.
Got it.
All in lowercase letters, if you don't mind.
Of course.
Justice.
Easy for the simpletons.
For Barry.
Justice for Barry. Put it in the chat, guys.
For Barry. So yeah, again, any lucky winner will get these two amazing collectibles. Highly recommended. I remember coming across this for the very first time when I was a kid. It was a trip to Florida to FYE, and I was able to get this. And it's a childhood memory of mine. Absolutely love it. And yeah, you guys are going to also have this distinguished gentleman.
Fantastic.
Samson just saw it.
No, I honestly, Jordan, I got mine at Best Buy when long ago when they actually had physical media. I randomly stumbled upon Frankenstein Conquers the World. I actually got
Wait.
Mysterians at Best Buy. A lot of this stuff I stumbled upon it, and they only had like one copy. And I was like, wow. I was like, I've never seen this. And now, mind you, I never saw them before. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to grab them because it just kind of, it's made by Toho. Looks like a giant monster or whatever. I'm going to grab this stuff and check it out. So it was cool when Best Buy actually had physical media and actually cared about that stuff.
So now I'm thinking, I don't remember if it was FYE or Best Buy that I came across that movie originally. And it was so many like years ago, I can't remember, but for some reason Best Buy's like ringing a bell to me with that movie when I first came across
or Suncoast. Suncoast used to be a big one.
I don't have that. Yeah, nah.
Oh, okay.
I'm not familiar with that one myself either. Just to say, look at the back of the DVD. It'll probably say very, very, very small print. What was the year it was released? What year did that DVD come out?
Oh, I'll tell you right now, 2007.
Okay.
Yeah.
That could easily be a Best Buy release.
Wrong, you ignorant swine. It was 2007.
Well, it was because I bought it at Best Buy. So.
No, I'm saying I'm saying the year.
No, I know. I'm talking to this one.
Ooh.
Okay.
Oh, Sam.
Yeah.
Sammy whammy.
Brandon knows.
Just so everybody knows, we are going to be doing giveaways randomly, even without our monthly shows. So make sure y'all are subscribed to the channel.
That's right.
Do be is true.
Make sure you guys get those hashtags in. I do have one more slide afterwards when we're wrapping up with that last slide. We will then reveal the winner of the giveaway.
I do think that Suncoast was the place that I got the majority of my Godzilla stuff from. Because for the longest time, like they were like one of the only ones that like imported it, like before like Walmart or Target or Kmart and all that would carry the stuff.
Oh, Kmart.
Hey, out of curiosity, is it Justice for Baragon or Justice for Barry?
No, Justice for Barry. Barry. B-A-R-R-Y.
Justice for Barry.
Yeah.
Okay.
Barry, Barry, baby, Barry. I don't know what Suncoast is. What kind of is that? Just like is that a secondhand store? Or was it like a video store? I've never heard of this one.
Back in the day, it was like a movie entertainment store. It's kind of like what FYE is now, but it was more like it had your like new release stuff, but it was honestly more like Japanese anime, toku properties, kung fu, foreign films. Honestly, a lot is what it kind of
collectibles. Yeah, collectibles.
More obscure, not so like Hollywood style stuff. Yeah, more
kind of like Hastings too. In a sense,
I don't have any of these places. I don't have FYE. I don't have Hastings. I don't have any of the stuff that y'all are talking about.
Hastings is old. Like when I was a kid, old Samson. So
I got Walmart. I sure as shit if I have fucking Walmart. I got that.
Well, everyone got Walmart shit.
Well, I got the first Walmart.
Are you guys ready for the last slide?
Yes, give the people a chance.
Lay it on us.
I had a lot of fun making this slide, and I know within this topic, we are going to have a blast discussing the questions I have for you guys. So,
I remember Sam Goody. God, I ain't seen one of those as I was a kid too. Jesus, I'm getting old.
But not as old as Eric.
This is true.
He still acts younger than you guys.
That was so loud. Holy cow.
That was loud. Jesus.
Ow.
Well, sorry it was loud. All right.
There was just a shockwave coming through my speakers. Like,
did you guys even get see the slide? Or
no,
was it too fast?
Godzilla's.
No, it was Godzilla. Yeah, we saw it.
It was just Godzilla 64, and that was it.
Yeah, that was it.
Explosions in our ear holes.
Well, then no, because you guys got to see the full experience just like everybody else. So I am going to
I don't
restart
think everybody
this.
else even saw it, so I'm just saying.
Well,
Oh.
all right, everybody's going to see it right now. There. Is that better for
Huh.
everybody?
Okay.
Is that good for everybody?
Kind of.
Is
All
everybody
right.
content? All right, whatever. So, what if? Of course, for those that know the lore behind Frankenstein and Toho, long story short, there were two other projects that were planned to portray Frankenstein in two previous movies. One of them being King Kong versus Frankenstein or Prometheus, and then the second one by Toho, they were going to bring us Frankenstein versus Godzilla. So, with your guys's pretty loud and clear opinions pertaining to Frankenstein versus Baragon, how would you guys felt if we had ended up with Godzilla versus Frankenstein instead, with the original story of it being basically kind of a mixture between what we had in King Kong versus Godzilla, and then of course Frankenstein versus Baragon? I will start with Mr. Stolp.
So did you say that the initial movie that they wanted to do was King Kong versus Frankenstein?
Or Kong versus Frankenstein, Prometheus, whatever the yeah. I had to correct myself. Thank you, Eric. You are a true friend for looking out for me. So thank you, buddy.
Basically, didn't we just have it? Didn't we just have what we're literally asking for, just different names?
So there was going to be a different story. That's why I said it was kind of like we had in King Kong versus Godzilla was what was going to translate to if it was going to be Frankenstein instead of Kong. And then there's also a little hints of what we ended up with Frankenstein versus Baragon. That was also originally in the script for Frankenstein versus Godzilla.
Yeah, but I'm saying, like, literally in Frankenstein Conquers the World, we got a oversized radioactive lizard, and
that's not Godzilla.
He fought. Well, I'm just saying it's literally the same premise.
Godzilla's king.
Names. Okay, I'm just saying, like, we're literally getting the same thing here. It's just a little bit different. So I don't honestly. Obviously, if it was Godzilla versus Frankenstein, who do you think would have won?
Godzilla for sure.
Possibly Godzilla. Maybe it could have been a draw, just like what King Kong versus Godzilla was, where they don't, get that hate for either side. That's kind of, kind of that draw kind of thing. But it wouldn't have worked. It wouldn't have been a good movie. Godzilla is too powerful, too strong. It would have been a lopsided. It would have been literally Godzilla beating the crap out of Frankenstein, vice versa than what we just got in this movie, where Frankenstein was beating the crap out of Baragon. Like it wouldn't have fit. And maybe they would have changed Frankenstein, but it just. I'm sorry, Leslie. You can say whatever you want, but it was a draw. It was a draw. That's final. Like, you can argue all you want. I will argue all I want too, but I'm not the only one that thinks that way. So obviously, I'm not in denial or delusional. So I like the movie, I like Kong, but he wasn't. I mean, he was literally a aquatic lizard that just could have just swam away and just like, I don't want any more of this. You're telling me that he was defeated? No. You're delusional right now. You're literally telling me that he got beat. No, that's baloney, and you know it. So you just like to argue and get a rise out of people. So that's whatever. Here or there. I think this idea would have been just not good. Would have probably been trash, honestly, and I'm kind of glad we never got it. So.
Wow.
Joe.
Yeah, I mean, what if I say no? How about not?
That's
Just
fine. That's fine.
yeah. To me, I just and here's the thing, like I see like, Monster Kid Corey and Leslie in the chat saying like, oh, Godzilla can't ever lose, like, and it's not that at all. Like I honestly don't mind if Godzilla loses whatsoever, but have him lose to a cool opponent. I'm sorry,
Mhm.
Mothra's not cool. Kong's not cool. Frankenstein's not cool. Ghidorah, a planet destroying space demon dragon. Yeah, have Ghidorah win. Absolutely.
That
A
makes sense.
destroyer created by the essence of the only weapon that could ever defeat God. Yeah, okay, cool. Have Godzilla lose. Like I don't have a problem with Godzilla losing at all, but like when it's to this goofy gap tooth motherfucker, no. Like it's so dumb. Like I hate it. Like I don't mind Godzilla losing at all. In fact, I'm actually the person on many of our previous shows that says that's why I actually don't like some current movies, is because the heroes always win at the end of every single movie. I love the Transformers films, but if you've watched one of them, you've watched them all. Guess what? Megatron gets defeated at the end. The second one, Megatron and the Fallen get defeated at the end. The third one, Megatron and whatever his name is, Sentinel Prime. It's the same thing over and over and over. It's kind of boring. Have Godzilla lose, but make it worth it. I think you want to know why, in my opinion, the Infinity War is remembered so fondly and had the buzz that it did. Yes, it was an 11-year culmination and 26 or 20 some odd movie culmination, but they threw a curveball at you. He won. The Avengers didn't defeat Thanos. In fact, my biggest complaint with Infinity War is that Thor shot that axe through Thanos' chest. That should have never happened. Have Thanos whoop their freaking ass, and you're like, oh shit, what is gonna happen? I have no problem with Godzilla losing, but make it cool, not by some weirdo looking thing like Frankenstein, and don't have it be some cop out stupid thing either, like, oh, all of a sudden Kong has lightning powers. Like that's dumb. That's dumb. Like, have it be worth it. Like, because guess what? If Godzilla is true, like all powerful, which we all think he is, when he loses to something, then you're like, wait, what? Like, it means something. But if Godzilla is beaten by Kong and Mothra and Frankenstein and two caterpillars and
God,
and it doesn't mean anything when a Ghidorah beats him. End rant.
Good rant. Good rant, though. Good.
Adrian.
I'm on the side of Eric and Joe.
Okay.
There was no way they should have done this movie, because Godzilla would curb stomp Frankenstein into the ground. There's no way on God's green earth they're making Godzilla lose to this ugly SOB. Ain't no way. I don't care how agile he is. I don't care how fast he is. If Godzilla's going to put the paws on him, and Godzilla's going to murder this man directly in his face with a atomic breath. End movie. Goodbye, Frankenstein.
Well, I mean, you can't say that either, because he's immune to radioactivity. And that's one thing that would keep Frankenstein probably alive, is that he can sustain that. But I'm talking about like physical strength, power. Like, Godzilla would just rip him apart. Like, he wouldn't even need to do that.
Well, yeah.
Honestly, I mean, take out the atomic breath, Godzilla could still mop the floor with him, and it wouldn't even make sense, honestly.
Yeah, no, he's getting beat bad. He's coming out bloody.
Samson.
Everybody already said all the things. Eric said it best. Eric said it best. They already technically did it with Baragon. Just because it's not the name Godzilla, it's still fucking. It's a big,
same thing.
Cretaceous, fucking prehistoric, Painolithic era looking monster versus Frankenstein. Joe, yep, just everything. Godzilla's. It wouldn't be meaningful because it's like, oh, what the fuck. And as Adrian said, Godzilla's overpowered. He would rip him in half. There's nothing I can't add to it. It's a terrible what if, because also at this point, Godzilla was a hero creature at the end of Ghidorah the Three-Headed Monster. For him to be villainous again, it would be like kind of throwing it back to, but no, it wouldn't work. It would not work against.
The movie was initially set to release in 1964.
Oh, it was? Okay.
No, I lied. The movie was initially set to release 62, but of course they replaced it with Kong.
Yeah, in 62. Yeah, 62.
Yeah. So between 62 and 64, Godzilla would have still been depicted as the villain. That this movie would have clearly taken place before Ghidorah the Three-Headed Monster.
Oh, well. Irregardlessly, this extra chromosome looking thing is not going to beat Godzilla. I'm sorry, it's not happening.
Jesus, that's it.
Well, that was a good way to put it, Samson. So another fun question pertaining to this, and Oscar freaking said it before me. Damn you, Oscar. Who would be your dream pick to fight Frankenstein, specifically Toho's Frankenstein? If you guys were to have been given the creative control of choosing who you'd want to see Toho Frankenstein go toe-to-toe with, if it wasn't Godzilla or even Baragon. I will ask, because I see the man turning the chair and he's looking in his collection right behind him. So that's the man I'm
looking. I'll answer if he's looking. Like I stated, like honestly, the initial idea was to have Frankenstein versus King Kong.
Okay.
That idea did not go through because they could not get the funding, so they went internationally and talked to Toho, and Toho funded the movie, but they wanted to change it up and do it differently. So they put, they were going to do Godzilla in it, but they didn't want to do Godzilla, so then they changed it, and they're like, hey, we want to do King Kong versus Godzilla. So then, that's how we got that movie. So realistically, I think King Kong versus Frankenstein is the most logical pick. Because they'd be very similar in attributes, they'd be very similar in strength and abilities. It would just, it would be a good fight, nonetheless, kind of thing. So that would just kind of be my answer.
All right, Adrian.
I'm honestly gonna agree with Eric. I mean, at least definitely up to this point, nothing else would have made sense. And even trying to look forward and for everything we have gotten after this movie, I think King Kong probably been the best opponent for him, because I mean, King Kong's supposed to be, as is said in '67, one of the strongest beings on the planet, the strongest monsters on the planet. So, what would Frankenstein do against King Kong's strength? And I would be interested to see that speed versus strength aspect of that fight. That would be interesting to see.
Samson.
I'm going through all the monsters in my head of like the 60s, and I'm having trouble. I don't want to copycat y'all's answer because y'all are both absolutely correct. Just two mammalian style monsters fighting each other, but they're just barely, the DNA is slightly different. Caveman versus gorilla. It's timeless classic theme. I don't know, maybe Rodan. Caveman versus pterodactyl. Like the 56 Rodan over the 60s one, like the actual cool Rodan. So yeah, Caveman versus Caveman versus pterodactyl. How about that?
Okay. Joe.
Okay.
I don't care.
And scene.
No, I just feel like any. Because I feel like anything else, it's so similar. Like Eric kind of hit it spot on. Like the fight with Godzilla would have been similar with Baragon. Like the qualities are similar there. Like, even like a Gorosaurus, Titanosaurus, it would have been kind of tooth and claw. It would have been the same thing, just minus the heat ray. Like, so I don't really know what a good answer is, other than maybe like having him in Gargantuas or something. I don't know. I don't know. I don't really have a good answer.
Well, I don't know if you guys
did
noticed.
they say Varan?
Oh, yeah, Varan.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah,
okay,
Varan.
okay.
That'll be
Oscar
interesting.
mentioned it.
Just a cousin species of Baragon. I mean, it's like the same thing.
Yeah.
He can fly.
Don't be disrespecting Varan like
It's
that.
basically the same thing. Like it's
He can fly
You
though.
know,
That's kind of
you
different.
can't
I
really
mean,
get out of
sure.
it unless you're going crazy and you're talking about space monsters and stuff. And then it's just like, wow, does that really make sense?
Yeah.
How big is what are they? 30 meters in this film?
Yeah, they're not as big as Godzilla. They're
I
not
know
that big,
Baragon's
for sure.
40 meters or 45 meters for sure, but I'm not sure about Frankenstein. Maybe 35 meters?
No, that doesn't sound right at all. Because
I thought they said
Godzilla,
15 in the film.
because Godzilla is like 50 meters in this era.
Yeah, I thought they said 15 for Frankenstein. Hold up.
Yeah.
Oscar brought it up. I don't know if you guys noticed it. My pick would have been the Wolfman.
Oh,
just to recapture the original Frankenstein meets the Wolfman. I mean, I know that it was. I know that it was a fan project. It wasn't official by Toho.
Yeah.
But I just overall I thought that would have been really cool to see, even if that was like the fan project where they did Toho's Frankenstein versus their legendary beast Wolfman character, and then they threw that in instead of it being Godzilla. I would have liked that because of course those are two classic monsters. So yeah,
Could tell a lot better story too with that, actually.
Yeah. So that would have been my choice. But yeah. So overall, that wraps up the questions for today's show. But of course, before we leave, it is giveaway time. So if you guys haven't yet, throw in hashtag Justice for Barry for the chance to win both of these neat additions to your collection if you guys don't own them already. The Frankenstein vs. Baragon DVD alongside the Bandai movie Monster Series Baragon figure. So, again,
tag included.
That's right. Because I know there are people that are out there that are simps for tags. Not that I'm judging them. It's just I know that's a thing.
I'll say it.
Yeah, Hey, all I know.
And so is Eric, and so is Adrian.
What happened?
For all I know, you could just.
He's making fun of us being simps for tags. He's making fun of me being a simp for a tag, and I said Eric is, and Adrian is as well.
I have my tag.
Tags are the best. Tags are the best. You uncultured swine.
I have them. I still have them.
Freaking weirdos. Jesus.
Hey, as long as they're in the sleeve protected, they're still protected.
No, there's
Eric,
no
okay?
if it's in the sleeve. No, that means nothing. That means nothing. They were distributed and released with tags. They're meant to have tags. Keep the tags out.
Really quick.
Or
we piggyback off of what Joe brought up earlier about not liking humanoid monsters. Brandon mentioned Frankenstein versus the Beast Titan. Are you not a fan of Attack on Titan? I know it's changing the subject a little bit, but I know you like anime. So Joe, you're not a fan of Attack on Titan, I'm assuming.
Are you talking to me? I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I'm
sorry.
talking to you. I'm sorry. What are you saying? Attack on Titan?
Are you a fan of Attack on Titan? I'm only asking.
I can't say that I. God, Samson. I can't say that I've seen all of it. I have seen. I think isn't there part 1, 2, and 3 for the live action movies? I've seen part 1 and I thought it was interesting. So yeah, I guess I guess I don't mind Attack on Titan from what I've seen, but I think it's because it's not like there's not like giant dragons and dinosaurs and whatever. It's all kind of just human stuff. But I really haven't seen enough of it, Jordan, to really give an opinion on it one way or the other. All my friends love it, so I'm sure I will too.
Okay.
Has the series concluded, the anime?
Yes, it's concluded.
It is finished.
I watched the first 2 seasons and then I fell off of it, got distracted by something else because spicy brain, that's why.
Well, get back on it now.
And because the internet is not sacred, I already know how it ends, so it's not like it's spoiled already.
Oh, you poor bastard.
People never.
Shockingly, I haven't been spoiled yet. So,
no, I scroll through Instagram all the time, so people post whatever they want. I click on it.
that's
So,
your fault for clicking on stuff.
Literally, so nosy. So, are you guys ready? For
looks like we got 8 entries.
8 entries. Okay, that's fine.
That's a 1 in. Yeah, that's a something % chance of winning.
All right. Yeah,
let's go.
I mean, you could just shoot it right now. Yeah, screw it.
What is Oscar doing in there?
I know.
Yeah.
Oscar,
here we go.
Is that Brandon?
Brandon. It is Brandon.
No, he can't win.
So we drawn again. I'm drawing again.
So
y'all ready for me to draw again?
Brandon,
I can draw again.
The moderators typically are not allowed to chime in to vote on a giveaway. I sincerely apologize, Brandon.
We'd still like you.
If only you weren't a moderator, I tell you right now, you would have won.
If only it had been a month ago.
To be fair, he has only been a moderator for like 2 weeks. Should we just give it to him?
2 weeks. True. But
are we all in the vote? I think Brandon says, nah, all good, man. My bad. But I mean, are we all in the vote?
You're the one giving it away, so you make the
Yeah, it's up to you. It's your show, man. You can do what you want.
You either give it to him or you draw again. Your choice.
You know what? I gotta go with what we normally stick with at FWA, and I do apologize, Brandon.
But you got to respect it.
And Oscar, if you win next, you're not getting
it. I was going to say, if Oscar wins next,
just so you know, whenever I see you, I'll make sure to snuggle up with you and rub your belly and give you a kiss on top of your forehead to ask for forgiveness. All right,
just the forehead.
All right,
so ready to draw again?
I mean, I guess we're gonna run it back.
You want to get back?
I swear, if it's Oscar,
that
again, Oscar.
Watch it though.
All right.
Oh. I was gonna say, if Brandon wins 3 times, he could have it. Then it's like,
I was gonna go. Oh damn! I was gonna say if he won the second time, that would have been like it for me. I'm like, all right, here you go, Brandon. But congrats, Michael.
Congrats,
I feel like Michael's won a lot of our giveaway items, hasn't he?
He has actually.
I think so.
Oh, yo, he has his own MWA collection. Literally, he has his own MWA collection. Wow. So, Michael, congrats, brother. I will ship this out ASAP. Congratulations on winning again the Bandai Movie Monster Series Baragon.
Yes.
That is tagged alongside the Frankenstein versus Baragon DVD. This alone is it's an absolute thrill to have. Like I said, it comes with a bunch of neat special features. So you are definitely going to be in for a treat once you receive this in the mail. So yeah, you guys, that basically wraps up our monthly show showcasing and celebrating 60 years of Frankenstein Conquers the World, or Frankenstein versus Baragon, whatever it is that you guys prefer calling it. Before we wrap things up, I do want to keep everybody that is well informed and that will also be attending G Fest. We had just received news of a new special guest coming in to G Fest, and that individual is none other than Carl Craig, who was one of the kid protagonists in Gamera versus Virus, and he is sponsored under the Monsters with Attitude banner. So, of course, if you guys are fans of Toku and you guys are just going to be happening to be attending G Fest, stop by and say hi to Carl. Get an autograph. Take a picture with him. Hang out with him. Don't harass him, because then we'll come looking for you. But yeah, go show love. All right. It is an awesome opportunity. And shout outs to Japan Legends for making this happen for us. Tim, thank you so much for giving us this opportunity. You don't know how, you really, really don't know how much this means to us. So yeah, again, just a friendly reminder, if you guys are going to be attending G Fest, Carl Craig is going to be there, sponsoring by us, and we're also going to be there too. Unfortunately, not Samson. But yeah, just come on down, say hi, show love, and embrace the attitude, more importantly. All right. Also, I just want to give another friendly reminder to go ahead and follow us on literally every social media platform that is out right now, literally from Twitch to TikTok to X or Twitter, whatever name you guys prefer calling it, Instagram, of course, our Facebook group, and more importantly, subscribe to our YouTube channel. All right. Again, if you want another giveaway like that, come in and chime into the show, and more importantly, subscribe. We are still planning on doing a 1,000 subscriber giveaway, so let's get those numbers up. All right. But more importantly, at least from me, I would like to thank Eric, Joe, Samson, and Adrian for making this show extremely exciting. I did not think this movie had so much hate until Eric, Joe, and Adrian. I feel like me and Samson
have that much hate. Let's be honest.
The Frankenstein flag. Oh man. But yeah,
I would say it's hate.
I would say it's hate. I would like to
No,
make
hate's what I have for
hate's
what I have for Gamma Super Monster. That's hate.
Oh.
Whole different story. Whole different monster.
That was a bumpy road, I'll tell you that.
Well, I don't have to watch it, right? Good. Oh.
Yeah, no.
No, you're watching it.
But yeah, Joe, you were very opinionated today, and we love that you were able to speak about how you feel.
That's what my therapist says.
But anyways, you guys, of course, to close things off, I want each and every single one of you guys that are watching to remember to just simply embrace the
attitude.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, everyone.